Hey, let's say hi to Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's outside our studio. What is he promoting? Tough Enough? Of course he is. Mondays at 8 p.m. before Raw on USA.
What is this about?
Stone Cold Steve Austin. Welcome back to the show, sir.
Always love having Stone Cold on.
Hey, guys.
How you doing, man? Good?
Well, we're all talking about good old Osama bin Laden.
Yeah,
today,
it's like
sir.
the big story.
What's your feelings on it?
He caught a bullet in the head.
Yeah,
Left
apparently
eye.
so.
I'll drink to that.
Yep,
They got him in the left eye.
Left eye?
I did.
Left eye.
Had a couple of beverages last night after that was announced.
Yeah, I was on an airplane, so I didn't really hear too much news about it, and then I heard about it when I kind of got up this morning.
Yeah.
Like, so I want to get all the details and stuff, and it's not a sad day at the office for me, I'll tell you.
Yeah. It is kind of nice when all the details come out and you realize how these guys pull off missions like that. It's just amazing. Like the snipers with the Somali pirates. When you see that and how it's done, you just go, yeah, we do have best guys out there.
Well, there's no doubt about that. Hey, is there someplace I can plug my iPhone in?
Yeah, look at that.
I lost my charger, and I'm borrowing somebody's charger.
And damn, Stone Cold's got the iPhone, huh?
Trying to get some power for the iPhone. You like the iPhone?
What are you going to do? I'm not a...
You got to just join the club.
Not a BlackBerry guy, and the flip phones are dead. I mean, they work okay.
What about a Droid?
Never tried one.
All right.
I'm kind of stuck on my iPhone right now.
I got a Droid. I think I got to admit that the iPhone's a bit better.
Oh, yeah?
I think I got to admit it.
Are you one of those guys that could go, like, if you forget the phone at home, do you freak out and go like,
No, man, I got to have my phone because I can't remember anything. It's like, let me call so-and-so. I don't remember their number.
No numbers. Remember, growing up as a kid, I used to know everyone's phone number. You had to.
Because you had to. But, back in the day when you go up and down the road, if you had to make a phone call, you'd pull over to Denny's, IHOP, a Waffle House, whatever, use a payphone.
Yep.
Or you had your pager went off, you had to make a phone call. And these days, man, in L.A., homeless people got cell phones.
Yeah.
It's them walking around looking for money, texting people.
Yeah.
Who are you texting?
And there's no payphones. Like, it's almost impossible to find a payphone.
We got a few left in New York.
Yeah, I've seen a few. I don't know what they're for. Drug deals or something.
Nah, they're calling home with their phone cards.
Is that it?
Oh, yeah, they're using their
calling
phone cards
overseas, something like that?
with the payphones.
Yeah,
Once I realized you can text a photo of your cock, I was sold on cell phones forever. What better technology is there? A quick snap and a send.
And it's made me want to get rid of mine. Stop with them, Jimmy, please.
I have that one angle. It looks like Nessie.
Now, what do you got going on? You got a show, right?
Yeah, he does.
I guess I got a show.
I guess.
We're on a USA Network right before Monday Night Raw, and it's, we started off with 9 men and 5 women for a total of 14 contestants. Make sure I can add this morning. Hell of a flight last night. Had to climb out on the wing and make an engine repair. So, anyway, we're trying to teach these kids how to work in the ring and do a process of elimination. And at the end of the season, the winner of the contest is going to get a contract with WWE. It could be either a male or female, either superstar or diva. And so that's what the stakes are. And the stakes are high, and we're having a damn good time doing it.
That's pretty good. Do you look at some people like right when they come in and go, wow, there's no way?
Yeah, you kind of get a sense of people, and that's a business that I know and love pretty damn good. And but then again, I'm not going to judge every single book by its cover either. And people kind of stepped up. Some people that I thought belonged didn't end up belonging, and some of them we had some people in there that were green as grass, and some people that had several years experience.
Yeah.
And they get bounced out accordingly. But it was a fun show to do, and when they pitched it to me, I knew I was going to have a good time doing it, and I ended up having a blast doing it. So we're doing okay on the in the ratings. Been well received. People are enjoying it. And hope we're back for another season.
Now, you eliminated a girl in the first episode. I'm just reading here. I did not see this, unfortunately. You said she didn't have enough heart. And you explained to her that once you shit your pants in a match with Yokozuna.
Now, South Africa.
And kept going.
South Africa. No,
I vaguely remember this story.
When you, like when you travel overseas, your diet changes.
Oh, yeah.
So, everything's kind of just a little bit different over there, and all of a sudden you eat South African food.
A little looser.
A little looser to say the least. And boy, Yoke picked me up and slammed me in the ring, and I proceeded to shit my pants. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't a full 5-alarm stinker. Duty. I've got duty. But
was it a couple? Hold on. Was it a couple nuggets? Was it a little splash?
More like a shark.
A shark? All right.
But nonetheless, bona fide and verifiable.
There was certainly some feces that came out of Stone Cold Steve Austin that night.
The proof was in the pudding. So at that point, I said, there was a little bit more of the match to go, and then it was time to go home. And, I think he beat me, and I rode off into the sunset with shit in my trunk.
Did anybody know? I mean, the ring didn't look like somebody stepped on a ketchup packet, did it?
No. A lot of times there's the ring is one of the dirtiest things you could ever lay around and roll around on. I mean, because guys are in the back, in the dressing rooms and the toilets, taking a leak, doing whatever you got to do before the match, and it's just a dirty environment, sweating, bleeding, all the stuff that goes in, and then I proceed to shit in some bitch. So
use it to your advantage. You get your ass in his face or anything?
No, I didn't because I don't know why. I guess because down at heart I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, that would have really.
And he weighed 700 pounds. So if I had not have liked him and he didn't weigh 700 pounds, who knows what would have happened? And I shudder to think at 700 pounds, if he'd have shit himself, what would have happened to me?
Yeah,
Is it harder to fight with shit in your pants? Like that?
What do you think?
Honestly, it seems like that would psychologically make you not want to move as much. You just go, all right, I'm done. I'm going to go home. Does it make you? Is it harder to move around and actually be physical?
Well.
Yeah, I would imagine.
It's not, I don't know. It's not like I was going to jump up and give him a couple of scissor kicks.
Yeah, maybe just tame it down a little bit, right? Holy
Boy, did you see the way Stone Cold was running the ropes after he shit himself?
Is this the match, by the way?
Oh, my God.
Look at Yokozuna.
No, it's not a pay-per-view match, and back in the day.
Look how fucking big he is.
Man, that guy was the biggest sweetheart in the world.
Big guy,
an absolute monster in the ring.
Damn.
Of course, he's totally destroying me here.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can sell a fucking move, man. God damn.
Oh, yeah, the old rake to the eyes. That'll even a score, mister. When in doubt, poke a some bitch in the eyes.
Jesus Christ.
How come wrestlers always jump when they punch? Like, boxers don't do that. Like, why? Like, there's always like
sound.
Well, boxers ain't as smart as us. We got to get that extra leverage.
You got to hit the mat so it sounds like you're connecting.
Yeah, no sound effect never hurt nobody, did it? Have you ever watched a movie without no sound effects? It sucks.
Right. So Cold, you ever look back at some of this stuff and you feel kind of like, ugh?
What do you mean?
Like maybe a move you did, or I don't know. Like you were joking about the raking of the eyes.
Oh no, man! I tell you what. When I look back at the stuff, as Stone Cold, no, I had a very credible in-ring style, very physical, very very stiff, very violent, and very believable. And I think that was kind of made me so successul.
We bring our old tapes in here and we cringe. And at the time when we were doing it, we thought, "Oh God, this is great stuff." But then when you look back, you kind of go, "Ugh."
Well, don't get me wrong. I mean, when I go back to the green stuff when I first started, absolutely, because I wasn't great in the ring when I first started by any stretch. So I look at some of that and say, "Man, I sucked ass," bad. But when I was running a Stone Cold White Hot, there was nothing that you could see through.
What about early on some of your mic work? Like, did you ever watch some of that and go
Brutality.
like, oh, boy, brutality?
Yeah, really? Brutality. I'm like, what was I thinking? But, it's like anything you do. When you first start, you're greener than grass, and, you might have a knack for it, but once you get some experience, some on-the-job training, and you got to get in that environment where that red light goes on, and it's sink or swim, brother, you better start swimming, because you might not get another opportunity.
You became one of the premier mic guys. I mean, the battles between you and The Rock on the mic were fantastic. I mean, so it's hard to believe early on what were you just tongue-tied?
Man, but you know what? I grew up as a pretty shy kid. And we would, we'd go to order some food at Dairy Queen, and my sister would have to call in my order because I didn't want to call nobody on the damn phone and order my 3 tacos and a soft drink. So she'd call in for me. But, you got to come out of that shell and, develop a persona and run with it. And, at the end of the day, I've always been a real talkative person. A lot of people think I walk around mad, pissed off, drinking beer all day.
That's me.
Yeah. But I enjoy getting the chance to when you're trying to sell tickets, there's an art behind it. You don't sit there. You can talk all the trash in the world, but you gotta build that guy. You can tear him down, but you gotta build him back up. You've got to sell the match at hand and the stakes. I mean, it's all about selling tickets. You can take pride in being able to do that.
Now on the TV show, what kind of things do the people have to do? Do they have to work a mic? Do they have to be able to have a personality? Is that part of it? Have you watched people improve, like like we were saying, you sucked early on. Have you seen people step up and improve like that?
Yeah, through the course of the contest, people are stepping up. They are improving, because they're going through the regimen every single day. And when you're practicing every day and working, going through the paces, repetition makes you better.
Yep.
You always hear, like at a point in your career, you want to work hard. You're always working hard, but then when you get to a point, it's that, okay, now I got to work smarter, not harder. These kids aren't at that stage. They don't need to learn the fine nuances and worry about this character and a promo style. They need to impress us with mechanics, the ability to absorb the pain, to be able to think on their feet in the ring and be a great mechanic. That finishing stuff is going to be years in the making. I'm looking for the mechanical stuff, and don't get me wrong, I am looking at some potential for that in the future, because if I've got somebody who's pretty good mechanically in front of me, but he's an absolute zero dud, it might make him hit the bricks.
When you guys are hitting like in the face and stuff like that, even though I know it's part of the show, you're still putting pressure on somebody's face. Like, how do you are you hitting with like your fists, or are you trying to hit with the forearm? Because you're still being struck by a fucking big arm.
Yeah, but there is contact. You're not trying to knock a guy's block off. It's not the UFC. But, man, I'll tell you what, when Stone Cold was in the middle of that ring making comebacks and the guys from DX were feeding me, or whoever it was, I mean, there's a lot of guys that walk backstage with a bunch of knots on their heads and a black eye here or there because, hey, man, when you're selling tickets and every single building you go to is sold out and you're white hot in the business, and that we call those potatoes. Everybody's happy to take a potato or two, because if we're rocking and rolling and selling out, rather than miss a guy by that much, or I don't want to hurt him, so it looks like shit. No. But, so that just goes with the territory. But no, you're not going out there trying to kill anybody by any stretch.
Well, with that said, there's a lot of guys that have come in here and said they will fucking give him a little shot if you don't like the guy. Every once in a while, that's some of that stuff goes down.
And then again,
make it hurt a little bit and maybe make believe, I kind of missed that move a little bit. Oops, sorry.
Well, then again, also, if a guy starts, snugging you a little too many times, I always had I was very patient in the ring. I like to give a guy a couple of shots. Finally, when he rang up enough of them, it was receipt time, and that's when the payback started. And you send that message in the ring, and that's respect. And things can get pretty hairy out there. Most of the time they don't, but there's a couple of assholes in the business, and sometimes you got to work with them.
I'm sure your schedule's so crazy, and there's frustrations on a lot of guys' part, and maybe you do take it out in the ring every once in a while.
Yeah, but hey, not
an all-out, we're going to beat the shit out of this guy.
Yeah, but you could be overseas, stuck over there for a couple of weeks on a tour, and, whatever's happening back at the house, and you can't get back to the house, and you've got all this other stuff going on, man, it's the same problems everybody else goes through, but when you get in that ring and, hey, you're having a bad day at the office, things happen.
Sure.
You'd like for them not to, but hey.
Sure.
Hey, it's all good fun stuff to talk about after it's over with when you're having a few beers.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about while you're still doing it. Stone Cold, a big MMA fan, and unfortunately, I fucking missed UFC 129 this weekend.
I did too. I was flying over here in the middle of shooting a movie in Vancouver. I missed the event. I rarely miss a UFC event. I had predicted that GSP was going to totally throttle, what's his name, Jake Shields.
Yeah, he won.
Hey, man, and Machida knocked out Couture. I really wanted Randy to win that fight.
That would have been nice, right?
Yeah. And then who else?
I think that was a second-round knockout.
Jose Aldo and Hamnik.
Aldo was on the card.
Yeah, I heard that Jose Aldo was just a lethal weapon. But he said that Hamnik was a tough customer, so that guy's got so much upside to him.
You ever do MMA training?
No, you know what? Not really. Got a bunch of friends that are in the business. Of course, I know Brock. Excuse me. No, I've never done it myself. I grew up in a damn small town in South Texas, but I really appreciate what those guys put themselves through.
Amazing.
We finally met Brock Lesnar. What a nice guy.
Man,
because you don't get that usually when you just kind of.
Yeah, he's got a sense of humor. He was really nice
cool.
Yeah,
really cool.
Totally cool.
I think we were all surprised when he came in.
Yeah, man, that guy likes to hunt and fish, be left alone, do his own thing, ride around in his jacked up truck and hang out with his family.
Right.
And that's who and what he is.
Yeah. Great guy. We love him.
What was the deal? Do you have any info on what the deal was between him and Undertaker?
Have no idea, man. I watched that go down. I bought that
weird,
pay-per-view
right?
as well.
It was weird. It was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I didn't get it, and man, I would have thought maybe I had some heads up on something, but I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything more than anything else did. Anybody else did, and I didn't know that they had issues. But hell, I ain't been around in a while. But it was an interesting scenario to walk by, and bad timing.
Terrible.
Oh my God, Lesnar's out of the ring. I didn't think he wanted to hear shit from anybody.
No.
Guy loses the belt. You don't say shit to him like that on the way out when you've lost a fucking championship match. It's like, do it later.
That was a tough day at the office, but he'll be back, and he's going to take that. He's going to learn from that, and he's going to work more on a stand-up game. I'm telling you, that guy's a phenomenal athlete.
Big, strong guy, man.
And hell, I mean, that guy's a pay-per-view selling machine. So he's going to be fine, and he'll be back.
They love seeing him. He was great in WWE, man.
Oh, well, I mean, if he went back, he'd go right back to the top because he's a top guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter whether it's UFC, WWE, the guy sells tickets.
Yeah. Who do you like in WWE right now?
Well, I like what John Cena's done.
Yeah.
He's their number one guy. Mm-hmm. He's real user-friendly for the kids, and that corporate PG theme that they're doing right now, I totally get that. Randy Orton has now turned into a star rather than just a mechanic in the ring. He's really come around. And, that Miz, for a guy who didn't really physically bring a whole lot to the game, he has really stepped up and made the most out of his potential.
What a story that is.
And what a great talker and one of the hardest workers probably in that company. So I'm real excited about what he's done. And I really think they ought to use CM Punk a hell of a lot better than they do. He's probably one of the most talented cats in the ring and on the microphone, and great gimmick and a hell of a worker, and somewhat of the old school type work. And I like what he does in the ring. So they're doing well, but they've got a lot of green talent that they need to get some seasoning on. So they really know what's going on inside that ring, and it's not just about I hit you, you hit me. You got to tell some stories, and they got to bring up their psychology. But that's a lesson that is learned over several years.
Do you think in time? Because wrestling is very cyclical in what they do and how they do it. Do you think in time they might get back to a little more of a harder, not R-rated, but because there was a while, especially when you were really flying in the ring, I mean, it was hilarious, some of the stuff, and it was very risque. Some of the girls would come out and their tops would slip off, and language-wise, and it was very, very entertaining.
We loved it, obviously.
Man, I think they'll probably turn it up here and there and back it down accordingly. I mean, they've got to be corporate friendly. I mean, that's the road that they're going down. But
I think when they went public, they had to kind of clean up a little bit.
But it's all about how those championship belts are represented. I mean, like when I went to the ring, I mean, that's totally real to me. I mean, it was a work, but and I just think that when I grew up watching the business back, when I was 7 or 8 years old. It was about two guys in that ring, and that gold belt meant everything.
Yeah.
So if you don't make a mockery of that belt, and that's serious business, you can have humor in there. I don't like to say comedy with that business, but there can be humor. There can be those lighter moments, those heartfelt moments. You need to care about, those people in the ring, that whether it's heel or babyface, you want to love them or hate them.
That's what it is. You at least had to know, and I think that's what you guys did very well. It was put across a personality where, when Stone Cold came into the ring, you knew this guy. You knew what he was all about.
When you say the guy's name, you knew what they were about.
Right.
So when you say a lot of these guys' names these days, you're like, well, okay, that's a name. What are they trying to be? Who are they? What do they stand for? What do they believe? And you don't really get a sense of them. But that's, with more time, the business has changed. But, back in the day, I mean, when you had the Sheep Herders, Iron Sheik, and, and the Killer Bees, but everybody was a gimmick,
Right.
Everybody was a character.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you was on the top of the card or the bottom of the card, you knew what everybody's act was, what they were about.
Right.
I don't think everything is as clearly defined right
for
now.
For God's sake.
The good old Brooklyn Brawl.
I got to say hi to the Brawler, because the Brawler's a good old dude and a good friend of mine. Hey, Steve, how are you?
When he would come out,
he's just through a lot.
He's like in the ring, like, maybe this is my night, man. Maybe this is my night.
Why did you ever let him shine, ever? You don't let him shine just once after all those years of work.
It's a tough business, guys. Come on, God.
Tough business.
Brawler, not once.
It was always funny because he'd come in and he'd have a look on his face like, tonight's my night,
This
man.
is it, finally.
And he'd just start getting whoever he was in with, and then, what happened?
Not again.
You
for
slipped
Brooklyn
up,
Brawler.
Brawler,
But
and
you
now
know, Brawler could always work, and he's always a good character. But every time he went to the ring, like you said, hey, maybe this is my night. Some guys go to the ring, and it's not good. They know it's not going to be their night, so they've already got the boo-boo face on as they're going out there. I'm like, look at this son of a bitch. Oh, really, guy? Not going to be your night tonight, so you're going to cry on the way to the ring? Go out there and represent and give those people a show.
Goddamn hysterical.
Be a pro.
You don't think the new names are as good as the old ones? I like the new guys.
Do you?
My favorite is Ambiguous Larry.
Ambiguous Larry?
Yeah, No Real Opinion Jerry. I like those guys.
I don't know what league you've been watching. I've seen guys, though, and with the show now, these guys got to take some bumps, and girls, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I mean, I'm talking some of the old school bumps I saw you guys take on the metal stairs, things like that. I mean, are these guys prepared for this? Are they ready to take, like, some major league pain?
We're starting off with the basics. And,
I would assume.
Take, for instance, Miss USA. She'd never been in the ring, and we were first just trying to teach her how to roll and bump a little bit so you can, learn how to make a safe landing. She was having a hard time doing that, but then she started catching on to that. So,
okay, so that's a far cry from smashing someone over the head with the stairs.
Yeah, and you don't really teach that in a wrestling school or at Tough Enough. Those are some of the finer.
That's a special school.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of the finishing touches that you learn in the crazy business. How to hit someone in the head with a steel chair and not totally
really crack their skull open.
Necks.
Yeah. We're not doing the crazy bumps with them, but I mean, because you're dealing with green as grass to about 9-10 years experience in the ring, so you got a mix of a lot of people in there, so you put them through the paces, see what they can do.
So it's more technique and stuff. And how important is personality?
Man, I mean, personality is extremely important because man down there in WCW is stunning Steve Austin and not really getting a chance to have a microphone in front of my face. I mean, I was a damn good mechanic, and I didn't even call myself a star. I was a little bit of whatever. Then I get a chance to go to ECW with Paul Heyman. He kind of opened the doors for me as far as the promo goes, and I came up with the Stone Cold Steve Austin thing. But anyway, to go back to it, I mean, it took me 7.5 years to be an overnight success.
Yeah, yeah, I guess that'll take a while.
So it goes a long way.
Yeah.
I want to change topics for a second. You're a big Twitter guy, and do you really fight sharks?
Man, I tell you what, a couple of months ago, I started doing the Twitter thing probably about a year ago, thereabouts. I figured, at the very least, I'm not a big technology guy. I think I'm at 240 or something like that. I'm not a real technology guy, so I figured, well, at least I can do is keep in touch with my fans, through the Twitter thing. Everybody else is doing that. I figure at least I can do that. And so, man, I started just tweeting some bullshit on there. But I would, for my workout, I live right there in L.A., so I was about a mile from the Pacific Ocean. So I said, I went out there, I swam 16 miles, shark bit my leg off, and all this other So then people started just tweeting back, and they just started loving these stupid stories. So now I even have this guy who... Sharks versus Austin guy, so we kind of have these little bullshit things.
Versus Austin.
I have fun with that thing, and it keeps me entertained. I'm actually a creative individual, and I enjoy writing. And when you're limited to 140 characters, it's easy for me to write some good stuff because it's only 140 characters.
Right, you got to edit yourself. Get to the point. Make it concise.
I love when you get rid of words. You're like, I don't think I need that word. I got to get rid of characters here. It's Steve Austin BSR on Twitter, by the way, if you want to get shark stories. And and how was it working with Sly? We haven't talked to you since.
Man, has it been that long?
We talked to you. We talked to you about the movie before that.
Yep.
What was it? Condemned, I think, right?
Shit, I can't remember. But anyway, back to Sly. Man, I had a good time working with that guy.
Yeah.
And when you show up on set with that guy, Randy Couture was there, and all those other guys that were in it.
Jet Li.
Yeah, so I mean, some heavy duty cats.
Jason Statham, I believe. Right?
And so it was a real cool environment. Everybody was coming to do their thing, and there was a lot of competition because everybody wanted to do their thing and make that stand out.
Right.
And but at the end of the day, Sly was in charge. He wrote, directed, and starred in it, and you get a chance to work with that guy. You see how long he's been around. He's been around for a long time for one reason. The guy's pretty damn badass at what he does.
Yeah.
And he has a vision as a director. And I really enjoyed working with the guy because I didn't know what he's going to be about. Or if he's going to be a control freak or just an idiot or whatever. The guy's a big superstar. And as far as his vision of directing, he knows exactly what he wants. And he tells the damn actor exactly what to do. Sometimes you get these directors and they'll motivate them with fluffy cloud words and stuff like that. And damn, Sly would tell Eric Roberts, who I had a blast hanging out with, all right, Eric, I want you to walk 3 steps, look that way, blink 2 times, and say your line.
Oh, okay.
And that's what Eric would do, and that's what Sly wanted.
Yeah,
But I fought with that guy for 2 days. And we were rolling around on this hard surface. I mean, it was a brick floor with sand all over it in New Orleans, hotter than hell. And we're both getting skinned and scuffed up, and I'm thinking, all right, see how much longer does somebody to take us. And he kept going, and he kept looking at me and goes, Steve, more intensity, more intensity. I'm like, man, I'll knock this son of a bitch out, right? Yeah. So he's tough. He's a very tough guy, and I had a lot of fun working with him. And I remember, hell, back 30 years ago when whatever the hell was, Rocky came out.
Yeah.
And hell, I was one of them damn idiots. There must have been 10 million of us drinking raw eggs in the morning, running down the street like an idiot. Going to be champion of the world someday.
That's going to make you the champ.
I didn't do that. I just fucked a chick in a pet store.
He took a shortcut. There's more than one way to skin a cat, brother.
Any more movies for you, sir?
Yeah, you're working on some in Toronto?
Yeah, we're gonna a movie in Vancouver right now with it's called Recall. Believe it or not, I my family gets killed again, and
yeah, you're movie families, man. Wow.
You don't want to be a part of my family when I do a movie.
No.
So fancy this, I'm pissed off, turn in my badge and start killing people who didn't get what the punishment that they should have had coming to them. And Danny Trejo's in it, and been having a lot of fun with that guy.
Great, man.
He's
great.
I've known Danny for a few years, and we've got a young director named Terry Miles, a very artistic, creative guy. I look for big things out of him, and he's doing a wonderful job. So right now it's a good experience, and I've got some stuff lined up after that.
Do you like watching yourself on screen act? Like
nah, that's I'll watch so I can learn. Right. But that's like going back. If I watch Tough Enough, I enjoy seeing the elimination process in because I'm good at that, and I can help kind of come up with a better game plan. Some of that stuff is still painful for me. Like, I liked watching my work in the ring as Stone Cold, but if I feel like that early stuff, that's kind of hard to do. So, I mean, yeah, I would rather watch somebody else's movies, but I hope people like to watch my movies because if they don't watch them, then I'm not going to be in business. But no, I cannot sit there and watch myself over and over, cry about, this, that, or whatever.
It's easier if you're alone. If there's other people in the room, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it is.
Because you don't care about reaction when you're alone. It's like I can watch the art, the craft, but when there's other people and you know what each line should get, if anything, it's like.
And what I had to do, like when Hunt to Kill came out, I was really proud of that movie, and that was a good movie. And when I first started watching, I was like picking it apart. And after 15 minutes, I turned it off. And I said, man, I can't watch this son of a bitch. And I said, you know what? I said, dude, just let it go. Stop judging yourself. Just watch the movie for what it is. And when I did that, and just watched it like that, I can't believe I didn't win an Academy Award.
It's very hard to step outside of yourself, though, and be able to watch it and just subjectively watch the movie like other people would. I think it's impossible, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I think it is. But then again, also there's some people, I mean, they'll turn in an absolutely brutal performance, and they'll just think it's the best thing since the cure of polio. I'm like, dude, really? Are you that stupid? You think you're that good? You sucked. A lot of gunplay in this new one. A little bit of gunplay and a lot of ass whoopings. A lot of ass whoopings, yeah, more hand-to-hand combat than gunplay. Did you have to play any kind of emotional scene when your family bites the dust again? No, because I want to. Then they get gunned down, and I think I shed a tear or two. Yeah. While I was, I took a round in the chest. So that's got to be that's kind of hard to cry when you got shot in the chest. And then it started raining, so the rain's coming in my eyes, and I'm like, okay. Thank God. Now helps me out with the tear thing when I really don't give a shit. Here's a little acting tip: if you want to cry and it's hard to think, just mouth the words. It's fine. Just go boo hoo. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, I've done that a few
few times.
Works for you.
Yeah, in home movies.
Yeah, the wacky horn.
Now we're having fun.
You cannot have fun without a wacky horn there, Stone Cold.
That's how I let my girlfriend know I'm about to come. I don't want to tell her. She knows to move.
Get out of the way.
Damn, Jimmy.
Can I borrow that?
Shit. So we got Tough Enough.
Yeah.
And that's where is that? USA?
USA Network.
So are you doing kind of like what Brock is doing on Ultimate Fighter, kind of like a coach and a guide and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, you've got Bill DeMott, Booker T, and Trish Stratus are the coaches. I'm the host.
Okay.
I'll set everything up, set the table. The guys will put them through the paces. I'll observe, do my thing, watch, look, listen, get the opinion from the trainers. Each week, we'll try to teach them a life lesson. Each week, we'll put them through a skill challenge, and then we'll go into my office, make a deliberation. I'll come up with my bottom three. Then I'll get those bottom three in the ring that night when it's time for an elimination once a week, and I will grill those people until one of them I might have my crosshairs on somebody, but I might give them a chance to jump through that window and save themselves. But if they can't do it, then they're gone. So that's a pretty intense process, and that's probably one of the parts of the show which I enjoy most, because I'd like to see all these kids win this contest and get a great contract with WWE, because once they get there, that's when the going really is going to get tougher than it is. But to get through me, you better be physically tough enough, mentally tough enough, and sharp enough to pull this off, because at the end of the day, it is a real deal. Yeah. And, anytime I step foot in that ring, it's all real to me, and I put these kids through the paces. I break them down, and I go over them mentally.
What happens, let's say now you get your winner, they go over to WWE. What do they do? What position do they take up there? Now, obviously, they got to pay their dues. They're not just going to be put in the spotlight there. I mean, what are they going to be doing when they go over there?
Well, if you're going to win the first Tough Enough contract, you're going to have a big bullseye on your back as soon as you walk in that dressing room.
I don't doubt it, yeah.
So they're going to have hell to pay, and they are going to have to pay their dues. But you know what? Everybody had gotten the business the way they got into it. I was a lifelong fan, went to a wrestling school and got a foot in the door and paid my dues and got the shit kicked out of me several times. I mean, that's part of the process.
Sure.
So whoever gets this contract, I mean, they're going to go in there, and it's going to be an open door.
Gonna have to earn respect.
They're going to have to earn that respect. Oof. They're going to have to, learn how to work in that ring. Nobody is that's in that contest is really, really accomplished, but good enough to get a start.
Right.
And it's on-the-job training from there. But if they can't perform, hey, man, I don't know what the contract says. I just know someone's going to get a contract.
Yeah, but you
can get bounced out on your ass if you screw up, or if you turn out to be nothing.
Yeah. Damn, that's because you can win the contest, get in there, and just say, "Wow, well, goodbye."
Yeah,
can't hack it.
It happens in UFC. I know some of the guys that actually go from the house and start to get fighting just don't work out. Not necessarily the winners, but guys that look good on one after a while that they just can't do it. And I'm sure it'll be the same here.
Absolutely.
Has MMA changed wrestling at all? Do you think or those things kind of go hand in hand, or do you feel that they're kind of competitive?
I definitely think they're competitive. I think there's two demographics, and I think there's a very shared demographic. Right. But I think that, I'm a fan of both. I came from the world of WWE brand stuff, so they're very competitive. Very competitive. But at the end of the day, two very completely different things. But I'll tell you what, I really like the promos that, like, a guy like Kel Sonnen was cutting a few months back when he was going to fight Silva. I mean, I like to hear their trash talking, the ones that can talk trash, and same with the guys in WWE. But from that aspect, I think promos can, by and large, be the same. But obviously, the in-ring product is totally different.
I think when you get the crossovers, it kind of brings the two together in some way. Like when you get Shamrock going over there and Lesnar. I think that kind of makes people think, there is some kind of connection. Like, people can go from here to there.
And what we've seen guys go from there into WWE, and then Brock, the first to be able to go from WWE into that world, because he comes, he's two-time national champion with an amateur background.
Right.
He does have a skill set. So, but then, it'd be interesting to see now, because in WWE, you knew he was a monster, you knew he was badass. But now that you've seen him fight in the UFC, you know he's a total destroyer.
Oh, yeah.
So would he fit back in the WWE framework? Because he's so legit, he's so tough. It's like, man, this guy's going to be the damn champion forever because no one can touch him.
No one's going to believe that they beat him in a real shoot. Ring, right?
Do you think a few years back you might have tried that?
Oh, back in the day, when the dinosaurs were still walking around on the earth, and I was young enough, I think I would have absolutely pursued it. Now, I'm not going to say, I was going to be the world champion or something like that. I might have got strummed like a 6-string guitar, but it would have been something interesting to try.
It should be said, too, that Dana White knows what he's doing with this UFC, man. He's a great promoter.
He seems to be. I mean, he's hungry, he's aggressive, and, man, it seems like he's obviously learned on the fly from when he first started to now, and the guy has his wits about him and seems to be a hellacious businessman.
And how's Vince? Cranky as hell still? Or?
No, Vince is good, man. I got a chance to talk to him the other day. A couple of weeks ago when we were filming the Tough Enough stuff, and of course I saw him in. I can't remember what town I saw him in when I did an appearance. Well, I saw him at WrestleMania. Yeah. So, but no, he's doing good. I think the business keeps moving along, and I think they've got a lot of stuff in the works and stuff that they're working on developing. And so, right when I think that guy is going to just kind of start relaxing and ride off into the sunset, he cranks it up more and starts working harder.
Yeah, that's someone you just can never underestimate.
He's
always in it.
I've learned a lot working with that guy, and he's a guy you want to be in business with because he puts it on the line every day he wakes up.
And what's Shane been up to?
I don't know what Shane's doing, and I haven't heard from him, and don't have a clue.
Yeah, I would say drug cartel.
Something's going on with that.
Got to be something like that.
It'll come out eventually.
He just took all the money and ran.
Someone might be setting me up on Twitter. Ask Stone Cold about the wrestlers versus midgets basketball game on Tough Enough. Did you actually do that?
Nope, I wasn't a part of that. I didn't play basketball, no midgets.
Someone might be setting me up. They said, go over and slap Stone Cold. He likes that.
Good point.
Stone Cold knows when to hit that wacky horn. He knows when to hit that wacky horn.
Cigarette, please.
Well, Tough Enough is on Mondays at 8, before Raw. It's a perfect spot for you on USA.
Absolutely.
And Steve Austin, BSR on Twitter.
I would watch that because it's interesting to me, the process, because you only see wrestlers when they're already doing it. You never get to see the training or any of the stuff that goes in and teaching
see someone and go like, I don't think they're going to be able to cut it.
Yeah, you see them all TV, all old up, and it's the glamorous world of that business. But, behind the scenes, I always tell everybody, man, you're living a lifestyle of a pro athlete, a truck driver, and a rock and roll star, and that's what it is. But, Tough Enough, you get to see them go through the training, and, man, there's so many things we could do on the show because we train the shit out of these kids. I mean, they're constantly in that ring taking bumps and learning how to work, so there's a lot that goes on that you don't see on the show. But, I mean, we bust our asses pretty damn good. It's a tough business to get into. Anything's tough these days.
Even though it's entertainment and guys aren't really punching each other in the face, it's still a tremendously physical fucking sport. And you're still getting... It's hard... When you're getting slammed on the ground from over stuff, you're still being slammed on a surface.
If you were being picked up and thrown down onto the mat, you probably would get knocked out.
Of course I would.
The wind would just leave you.
And it's just one thing to do it on a... one match or a couple of matches here and there. But, man, when you're on the road 250, 280 days a year doing that, it's the travel, it's all the bumps, it's gravity, it's physics, it's everything that goes with it. So it is a very hard life, but it's the funnest damn job you could ever have. I loved every year I had in that business.
Anytime we've talked to you, that's obvious.
Still have the passion.
Blatantly obvious, man.
Where's the aches, though? You got one ache from your years in the wrestling ring?
Got one what?
One ache.
One ache.
Like a knee.
Is there one thing that bothers you?
Oh, no, I just had,
that's everything.
I had my neck fused up in 2000. That's fine now.
Yep.
And so I'm good to go there. So, man, sometimes I always, when I'm running into someone who's been out of business longer than I have or is older than me by a 5 or 10 year increment, I'll always ask them, hey, man, how you feel?
Yeah. You want to know.
Where am I going?
Like when I get there, what about today? I get tired of some of these guys, complaining about all the stuff they put themselves through. It's like, hey, man, if you didn't like it, get out.
Yeah.
You knew it was a tough gig when you signed up for it. I know a guy down there, and one of my buddies in Texas who lays tile floors for a living. So he's always on his knees working on those tile floors. So after 35 years, his knees are shot. So that goes with his job. So,
Yeah.
you're gonna have some aches and pains when you walk away from this business. No different than the guys in NFL or NHL or whatever. Tough physical games.
True,
It's
yeah,
going to take
yeah.
a toll on you. If you don't like it, get the hell out.
Yeah.
And then what else you going to do for a living, right?
And nothing is fun.
How do you guys not get knocked out? We had Anderson Silva in recently. He just gave me a 10% kick in the just to see. I wanted to see what it felt like just to have that foot coming at you, and literally my brain, because I'm not used to that shit, fucking jostled, and I felt like if he had really kicked me hard, he would have knocked me out with a kick to my arm.
To your arm, yeah.
And I don't know how you guys, even though you're not getting full-on punch, when you're getting slammed to the mat, how the fuck are you not just getting knocked out? Because that, to me, was such a horrible feeling.
Well, speaking for myself, I mean, Anderson Silva is one of my favorite fighters and a total badass. If he'd have kicked me in my shoulder, I'd probably shit myself.
Believe me, it was a 10% gent. It's the way you'd kick your kid's sister if you were goofing around. He wasn't trying to hurt me.
No, I can't imagine that. I mean,
Okay.
Oh, what? Oh, we gotta go.
Yeah,
Shit.
he's got.
Wow, look at the time.
They
Holy
got him
fuck.
doing a bunch.
Oh,
of
they
interviews
have him
here.
going.
Yeah.
No, we'd keep you for
I
another.
can sit here and talk to you guys forever.
I know.
Yeah.
We love having you in, man. We absolutely do.
All right, Tough Enough
Great
Mondays
time.
at 8 p.m. Before Raw on USA, and once again on Twitter, Steve Austin BSR. Thank you, Steve.
Hey, and it is Monday, right?
Yes,
Mondays.
it is.
Okay, so
Mondays at 8 p.m.
tonight's episode
Yep.
of Tough Enough is a real hellacious episode and highly entertaining. If you hadn't seen the first four, check this one out and you'll get hooked on it for damn sure. And that's the bottom line, because I said so.
Thanks, man.
Thank y'all, guys.
The Virus. Sirius XM. Opie and Anthony. The Opie and Anthony Show. Damn it.